Take it with the programming. I'm Jay Singram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler. Wolverine. It's about time.
Dude, you know what? Thank you for the reminder, folks. I don't remember who it was, but it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Got to do the trophy case.
Felt so bad. Like, my bad, guys.
Well, I mean, there's so much stuff happening, you know? What's up, Soccer Mom?
What's up, Soccer Mom? Before we get to what our March is going to be, we are going to basically revisit of what our trophy case challenge is, purpose of, and the fun that we're trying to have with everybody in the process. Bill, would you like to explain our trophy case challenge?
Sure. So way back in the day, since we're OG, because that's what we do, the old days of CrossFit on the game or on the old CrossFit.com website, they had a segment that was called Trophy Case Awards. And it was a handful of different activities. I don't remember. I think it was 12. I don't remember if it was 12 exactly, somewhere around the 12, 15, something like that. And they were basically like our specialist events, you know, we have all these, like in the old days of UFC, you had your boxer and you had your wrestler and you had your sumo guy and you had your, karate guy and whatever. And that's kind of how CrossFit was. We weren't CrossFitters. We weren't non-specialists yet. And so, come on in, and they had a couple of these things spattered out there, some rowing ones. I mean, my favorite one that I still have not to this day got my shirt for was 30 bodyweight bench press. I was supposed to get a shirt for that.
I mean, that's a good one.
I mean, it's a great one, it's a great one. And so here we are doing our community stuff, trying to bring back that OG feel, and we're starting our own. So we are looking at some of the old ones. We're retooling some of the old ones and then coming up with our own new ones and getting everybody back in. Because here's the thing. If you complete the event and you have video footage of it, whereas in the old days, you didn't have to have video footage.
I did it.
Yeah, I did it. Here's my weight. Here's my number. Congratulations. But we get that, and then we send you out a shirt that says challenge accepted or challenge completed. Completed, I believe. And then it has the name of whatever the challenge is that's in there. And we started off in January. We actually gave a what do they call that? Foresight, a foreskin of what the
a foreshadowing?
A foreshadowing, if you will.
Definitely not.
Of what the end of the year would be. So it gives everyone a whole year to practice, and then we've been dropping one per month.
Yes.
Every single time up. And so here we are for March.
Our long-term goal challenge was the one that actually Greg Glassman made back in the old journal days, which was a press to handstand from the floor.
Yep.
As opposed to anything else.
Right.
From a straddle position. So not like jump your feet in the air and start handstand walking. Press to handstand from a straddle position into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk. That's the long-term goal. And it's not the end of the year. This is to the end of all time because it's going to take some time.
Oh, man, totally.
Yeah. Have you been watching Annie Sakamoto's press to handstand progression stuff that she's been trying to do?
Yeah, and what's really funny is it's fun to watch her do it and struggle because the entire time I'm watching her do that, I'm like, oh, I could totally do that. Oh, I could totally do that. And then I tried to do it, and I was so far behind the curve on that one. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I need to sit myself back down and start back at the very beginning. Let's go back to the beginning of her videos because it's hard. It's really hard.
Well, and that's the cool thing too, is that you have someone who is so OG.
Yeah.
That is Annie. I mean, you have a benchmark workout, and she's been trying this challenge now of trying to get a press to handstand, and it's been taking her months to do so. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, we just have it playing here off to the side. But
real fast, have you seen Dave Durante do his?
No.
And I may be missing the number, but it's like 1,000 press to handstands for time.
What?
Yeah. And he's just like, boop, 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 boop. I mean, he speeds up the video, but dude, it's nuts. I think he has it on his Instagram. You got to check it out. It's nuts.
Well, I can't wait to see that. But yeah, so it's press to handstand from the floor into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk. That's the big end goal. And the idea is that everything it takes to get there is the whole point.
Yeah.
The flexibility, the coordination, the strength, all of it. everything that you would have to improve to do this challenge is actually the benefit you're going to get from it. It's
Well,
not the t-shirt at the end of the rainbow.
No. That's just a little carrot. But like, what I really like is not just all of those physical things, but the fact that you really like. There are people that can get their first muscle up with not knowing how to do anything. They can just kind of hot grab the rings and kind of pull themselves up. This is a little bit different. So like, you have no option other than to, all right, you're gonna have to put some time into this, and I think that's really cool. You have to draw your line out. And if you choose not to follow that line, you're not going to get this. It's just not going to happen. It's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome. And, as we said before, our January challenge was 200 unbroken kettlebell snatches, 53 and 35. Our Tuesday, February, I was thinking second day of the day. Our February challenge was a 5K row under two specific times for men and for women. Now, I did get this question. Those of you that completed the kettlebell one, we are getting your shirts designed and ready to print and then ship. So if you haven't got it yet, we have you tallied up. We're getting your information. We're getting the shirts made. As Bill said, we're going between challenge. Was it challenge accepted or challenge completed?
I think it's challenge completed is what Ken had set up on that.
Okay. Yep.
Because that's what it is. I mean, it's been completed. It's not accepted because everyone's accepting it.
I get that. Like when someone dares me, I'm like, challenge accepted.
Right. Right.
Yeah, right.
That's at the beginning of the event, not at the end of the event.
That's true. Challenge completed. So we have those set. We're going to get you guys your stuff. So congratulations for those that tackled yet. We haven't anybody finished the 5K yet. And today we're going to talk about our March one. Now, as we often do all the time here on the show, is that Bill and I have a short discussion before we hop on, and then we flesh it out on live with you guys, which is what we did week one, right? And so we're going to do the same thing. But before we do that, we are going to define things that we have been waiting to be defined for a long time. And that's the classic benchmark workout / test of 30 ring muscle-ups for time. And if you saw at the beginning of this video, if you're watching on YouTube, that Annie was actually doing Annie.
Right.
Right. Which was funny to watch her do her own benchmark girl test. But what we've always said is that 30 ring muscles for time is, I think, just as much of a benchmark test as Grace and Isabel. 30 snatches, 30 clean and jerks. Name any of them. We don't have a name for it.
Right.
And you and I have been back and forth, and it's like, we need to name this after, because this is, to me, a girl named type of test.
I like it that way.
Yeah. And there's no one better and proven to be the best in the world in any event that requires a ring muscle up. No one is better. In fact, I think she has the highest win percentage of any athlete when it comes to this versus other athletes' winningest movements. We did that episode with Brian Friend, which was one of the cooler ones I think we've ever done.
Right. Yeah.
And it's Samantha Briggs.
Totally.
And we need 30 ring muscle-ups to be called Briggs. It's hardcore.
It's so badass.
Such a hardcore.
So badass.
That needs to happen.
Yes.
Done. Whatever avenue we need to go down needs to happen. So that is what we want. We want 30 ring muscle-ups to be Briggs. On the flip side of that, we want 30 bar muscle-ups to be called Samantha. She's just unparalleled in her success in CrossFit. No better example when we talk ring muscle-ups in a test that she comes out of the woodwork at 42 years old. In the world in 14.4 in the first week of the Open and being retired for like 2 or 3 years. 6th. Against a worldwide field of athletes that have been like, the level of athletes now she's doing it against, she still gets top 5, top 6.
I know.
Wild.
I know.
And so we were talking, Renata. Yes. So our Program Restaurant shirts are done and made. And if you guys are a Patreon follower of us, you should get an email about your shirts, discount codes, and how to get those. So if you haven't, check your inbox there. For those of you that follow on Patreon, we have a special shirt just for you, just for being there, just for you. You don't have to buy it. So we have Samantha, 30 bar muscle ups for time. We have Briggs, 30 ring muscle ups for time. That needs to happen. It needs to get fixed or in the books, but we'll wave that flag. And so what we wanted our March test because we did a weightlifting test in January. We did a monostructural test in March. So we thought we would do a gymnastics test in February and a gymnastics test in March.
Yes.
And we're talking about separating the two. And a big one is, okay, 30 ring muscle ups, unbroken. 30 bar muscle ups, unbroken. And I'm looking at that, and we've always like, okay, we don't want to do anything that we know a lot of people, and this is, like we said, this is throwing it out there, can't do this. It's the effort of, this is a long game challenge. I know some people can already do it. Bar muscle ups for sure.
Yeah.
So my question for you, live, and I have not prompted this, and I said I was going to do it live. What if the challenge actually is Samantha Briggs, which is 30 bar muscle ups into 30 ring muscle ups, but we set a time designation as the challenge itself to celebrate our named workouts? It's in order that I think is a safer order.
Right.
Bar to the rings, and we have the challenge of the pull into an easier the press, and then the easier the pull into the harder of the press. We get the best of both worlds. We combine them together, but we make it a time instead of an unbroken element, separating the two.
I was actually thinking about that earlier. So this morning when we were talking about coming on the air and stuff, I was like, I should go back and look at some of the times, some of the numbers that people have been doing. And I was kind of the same way. I'm like, okay, I know people could do 30 in 3 minutes.
Right.
Like, okay, we can do them unbroken. I went back and looked at the games footage to see, like, okay, where was everybody there? There was usually one break. They probably could have squeaked one out, and made it unbroken if they needed to. And looking even at the time from to that, and it's still kind of close, but I was kind of the same thing. I'm like, you know what? I can't do the Briggs version, but I think I could do the Samantha version.
Me too. And I shouldn't be able to do that just off the
right.
cuff.
So I like the idea of doing both, and then also making it to where I think the time frame would have to be aggressive.
So that's then okay. So if you're cool with that, and we call it Samantha Briggs, which
Samantha
is 30
Briggs.
bar muscle ups into 30 ring muscle ups.
Yeah.
So now we have a name. Now we have the test. It's something that's achievable and can train for, in my opinion. Because like if it's just 30 ring muscle ups, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try it and then fail. And then I was like, now I have a time. Okay, I did the whole thing and it took me 10 minutes. Okay, so now how do I get better at it?
Right.
And I do like the order, bar to ring, just safer. I don't need people to do 30 ring muscle ups and just like throw their straps over the pull-up bar and just like hopefully they hold on.
Hold on for dear life.
Yeah, we need a video. Thanks, Corey, of you doing one arm bar muscle ups. I barely did a one arm burpee pull up, so that's not going to happen.
You get a free T-shirt if you did.
Yeah, and Elise, you were saying exactly what we want it to be, and you're taking it the right way. Elise says this one will take lots of work for me. Great.
Shit, it'll take a lot of work for me. Are you kidding me?
Right. And so, okay, so in my original thought, because we're like, okay, if we just isolate them, is it unbroken or for time? And in my head, my timing one is what you said was 3 minutes.
Yes. And I know I was.
And I still think that's easier for top people to do.
100%. Like, okay, so I watched Samantha has a video, CrossFit did it when she did 30 ring muscle ups for time.
Yeah.
It's like 7 years ago.
Yep.
And I think she was like 3:03.
Right.
And
she did like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, something like that. So she broke it down. So from that, I was like, you know what? I don't think it should be time. Like, I know I could do 30 bar muscle ups in 3 minutes, no problem. And I'm like, okay, we're going to be giving, I think, a lot of T-shirts out that if we do that.
Yes.
So I do, putting them together, I can see choosing that time, but I wouldn't say, this is the one. Yeah.
Like, how do you not call it Briggs when they have a
She's so jacked in that video. Look at that. My gosh. But I don't think it should be a straight 3 and 3. I think the time needs to be more aggressive.
You think 6 minutes is too much
Yeah.
combined?
Dude, it's going to take someone like 2 minutes
Okay.
to
How
be
about-
rested. So they have
Okay.
4 minutes now to do the ring muscle.
Hey, you
up.
ready? You ready? Back when we started CrossFit, back in my day,
Back in my day.
30 ring muscle-ups for time. The goal there was to break 5 minutes. Remember that?
Yeah.
If you could break 5 minutes and 30 ring muscle-ups for time 10 years ago, now more, because fuck, it's 2023. 15 years ago. God bless that sucked.
Yeah.
That hurt
Seriously.
a little bit. That was the standard, right? That was the gold standard. That was like the 15 overhead squats at body weight. That was the
Well, they also weren't kipping either.
true.
We didn't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, but even when we started kipping, that was still the standard.
Yeah, totally.
And then it became 3. But you're right, because what if we took that old school standard, we level it up to the modern times, and we make it both in 5 minutes?
That's what I think it should be, both in 5 minutes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe we should have somebody test this.
Well, I mean, honestly, what I want to do, dude, we got to hit up Sam. We got to ask her to do it for us, see if she do it. Which I think we should do anyway. I mean, tell her that this is in her honor and all of that kind of stuff. But we don't have to worry about her breaking anything or whatever. But it would be amazing to have her do that, because I know she could do it.
Yes.
At least I think it would be really cool if she can't. It would put it in a very good perspective of where we are with that number.
Yeah.
I mean,
what if we what if we get her to do it and we make her time the time challenge? Maybe we'll see what
here's what I would say.
maybe we'll see what the time is.
Right.
Oh, that's a great idea, Elise.
I don't really know. Oh, that would be sick. That would be really cool. We gotta give her a little bit of time to think, to get herself. I mean, she'd probably just jump in. That's how she is.
Yeah, I know she'll just jump in and do it.
But the thing is, I don't know. I mean, because she's doing it off the cuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Because I don't want to dislocate.
it would be her best time. Look at 3:03 back then, and that was with Briggs.
Yeah, and also fresh.
Well, yeah, totally. But I mean, okay, again, I still think that even if she did, I mean, dude, okay, she's going to do 30 bar muscle ups in a minute 30. I could do that.
Yeah, I know.
So that means she has 4.5 minutes to do that.
Okay.
3 sets of 10. I bet she could do it and knock it out of the park.
I think this is a great avenue to work out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think here's what I think we should do on the Instagram. I mean, I know what I think we should do, but I think we should kind of bring Sam into this and get her to do it. But I say let's just put it out to the field on the Instagram and do one of those little survey deals, and do it as say 5 minutes, and do the choices are above or below to see.
Okay.
Just to see what everyone else thinks.
Like a little poll?
Yeah, to see what they do. Just see what people think.
Okay.
Because you're right. If she does do it in 4 minutes and 3 seconds, then that tells me that we're going to have all of our gymnastic types.
Oh.
And we need to be able to push the gymnastic. Just like when we looked at the elite level of the rowers,
I honestly,
it's got to be up at the high end of that.
I think 5 minutes would be good.
I mean, I think so too. But I mean, there was a suggestion or an idea that Elise had up there. If she gets 4:30 or 4:03,
yeah,
what do we put it at? And that's out of the gates cold,
True.
So I mean, all the rowers, we pick the rower time based on people that's what they do. They row.
True. Yeah. I think 5 minutes would be quality.
I mean, I think so too. But I would really like to see it.
But she comes out and it's 7.5. I'm like, oh.
Well, then but then we're safe, because this is what's great about being a master is because then you go, yeah, but she's old. That's why. So if she was younger,
she would totally have this.
She would totally get 5 minutes. But then it's okay.
Okay, I like that. So our March challenge, call it Samantha Briggs.
Yeah.
Samantha plus Briggs. 30 bar
muscle ups
into 30 ring muscle ups. Right now, time cap, we're thinking 5 minutes, but we'll vet this a little bit more with the namesake of this test with Samantha.
Should we hit up Dave Durante and see what he thinks?
Yeah. Well, he'll probably be like, but you have to do it the right way.
Well, we can preface it with CrossFit like.
Yeah. Hey, CrossFit gymnastics test. Yeah, actually, no, hit up Dave. Do you have his number? I have his number.
I got it. Yeah, I can
You hit him up. Hit up Durante. I would love his thoughts on times. You
Okay.
think that's appropriate. Yeah. Oh man.
I think it would be so sick.
Honestly, that would be a freaking awesome. I mean, we're showing right now. If you guys are following us on YouTube, if not, you're missing out. We're showing the 30 ring muscle ups from the 2018 CrossFit Games. And how cool of a gymnastics test, coupled with a monostructural one and maybe a weightlifting one of this, right? Because this is the day where they did crit to start the day, and then they did CrossFit total.
Yep.
And then 30 ring muscle ups for time, and then came back that night and did a half marathon row.
Yeah.
Right. How cool would it be if they do some type of monostructural test or a full marathon row? Did I say half marathon row?
Yeah. Yeah. Full marathon.
Day one of the 2023 games is other total, as we like to call the CrossFit total, into Samantha Briggs, 30 and 30 and some type of monostructural test. I feel like if you did that at the end of day one, you're like, I'm pretty sure we know who's going to win. or the one thing I would have liked in 2018, because it's like, okay, monostructural test, sweet. Weightlifting test, sweet. Gymnastics test, sweet. That night should have been a classic CrossFit benchmark workout.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you have the games and you have that many opportunities, you can very easily do your monostructural pieces like that. You could do your weightlift, you do your gymnastics, you can do your, whatever your Metcon is going to do. But you're right. We are fitness athletes. So even though we're looking in pegging out each one of those individual pieces, I'd like rounding it all up at the end with like a classic. All right, give me
like Helen or something.
Yeah, a very classic CrossFit setup.
Because it's like, okay, we did one in each modality and then a classic CrossFit triplet of all three.
Yep.
And just like have a hell of a day one. And how cool it'd be to bring that one into the stadium.
I think so.
That'd be sweet. Sweet. Ooh, question here before we pop off, because we're just here to announce this. Drew, best monostructural event ever at the games. Oh, it's a good question. I mean, his was Pendleton. You might be right. I mean, you had run, swim, run. Well, let's go through them. Run, swim, run. Ocean swims only. Pendleton.
The long paddle.
Swim paddle. Swim ski.
Yeah.
Triple threes.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Actually,
I mean, really didn't like that one, but I like that one.
That might be my vote.
Yeah. I do like. I like the marathon row for what it was. I liked the fact that they did the 2,000 meter sprint into the half marathon.
Yeah, crit.
Dude, that wrecked people.
It did.
Granted, we had a lot of athletes peeing themselves on the long row, but on that one just broke people. Like there were ass cheeks that were dismantled from the legs.
And they also did earlier that day when you're talking about the 2K into the half marathon.
That's right.
They had done
the swim and the bar muscle ups.
They didn't swim and bar muscle. Was that the same day?
Yeah, because they went straight from the pool.
Well, and then they also did. When was Burden Run? Wasn't that the same year?
Yeah, because Wes did that one. And that was the year Wes was in the games.
Let me look this up. Because we're thinking 2012, right?
13.
2013. Yeah, 2013 games, workouts. Let me see the year. I have to do this change the URL code because I can't search it right now.
I hate that.
2013, event 1, the pool. 10 rounds for time, 25-yard swim, 3-bar muscle-ups, 25-yard swim. At night or that afternoon, it was the row. 2K, test 1 into the rest of the 21,097 meters. The next morning was burden run.
Okay.
God, listen to these. Let me just show this. Look at these 2013 tests. Pull, row 1, burden run, zigzag sprint, legless, naughty Nancy, clean and jerk ladder. 2007, sprint chipper, Cinco 1, Cinco 2.
Dude, that's a very, very good CrossFit Games.
Right?
I mean, when we've talked about different events, Cinco 1, Cinco 2 have always come into the fray.
Yeah.
About, best event or best finisher. Like that one's always in there. The zigzag sprint, when they did it that year, do you remember everyone's hamstrings were blowing up?
Yeah.
I remember who it was. Someone, they pulled their first one. They pulled the hamstring, and then in the next one, they pulled their other hamstring, and they were out. Had both legs wrapped up. Do you remember who that was?
I don't know. Ooh, who won the zigzag sprint? Do you remember that? I remember who everybody was picking.
Yeah, everyone was picking Dan.
Yes.
Was that Marcus Philly?
Close. Wrong Marcus.
I'm blanking. Hendren?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And on the ladies, I feel like it was someone I would not have thought. God, who was it? Oh, man. Shoot, I can look it up. I'm here already. Let's see. Leaderboard 2013. I want to say it was not Tovar, but.
Well, they always show her in the picture of that.
Yeah. Sprint chipper. Where is it? Naughty Nancy. Zigzag sprint. That's it. Lindy Barber, Tovar.
Oh, Lindy, yeah.
But Michelle Crawford.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Lindy Barber won that other year. I think it was 2014. Right.
Yeah.
It was the back-to-back one.
Yeah.
Sled. No, it was which one was it? Overhead squats, 333, sprint sled. Oh no, that was 2015. 2015. Sprint course. There we go. Sprint course 1. Lindy Barber. On sprint course 1, Turi Helgadottir, Kristen Holta. Sprint course 2, Kristen Holta, Lindy Barber, Tia Tubey. Yep.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, okay. You guys have our March trophy case challenge. We will be calling it Samantha Briggs. 30 bar muscle ups into 30 ring muscle ups. We will nail down the time with some test subjects. Hopefully it will be Samantha Briggs herself. And Bill is going to hit up Dave Durante just to double check our math, but we're looking at the 5-minute time slot, which was the old gold standard for just 30 ring muscle ups for time, which is now called Briggs, and 30 bar muscles for time is called Samantha. And that is your March trophy case challenge that you get to take forever. Enjoy your monostructural test this month. Next month, we'll be circling back to a weightlifting test.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a couple in the wings that you will thoroughly not enjoy. All right, team, thank you so much for jogging our memory to get this out. Thank you guys who passed our first test. We will be getting in touch with you guys as soon as we get the shirts designed and mocked up. Till then, have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend. See you guys on Tuesday. I am Ron Burgundy.